Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this blazing episode of Transmissions, we get a look at colored images of Fans Toys Masterpiece scaled Warpath, Brawn, and Skydive. New stock images of Transformers War for Cybertron Siege G2 Sideswipe show up, and your local Wal-Mart might just have Transformers socks for you. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, 2019, and this is episode 332 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's lost 2 out of 4 cylinders, but we're still maintaining quarter power. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko. I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team, Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Yeah, I'm an entire team. Let's talk Transformers.
As you can tell, we are down probably about 96.5% voting power, meaning Charles is out and Yoshi, as normal, when he's on 1 week, he's out the next week.
We can do anything this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically we don't have a quorum since Charles isn't here, because Charles is the quorum. That's true. But they are both out on assignment. They will be back. Meaning they're too lazy to show up.
Couldn't care less about Transformers. They want to be somewhere else.
They do. I mean, they don't even have the Game of Thrones excuse anymore.
Nope.
But anyway, the show must go on. As always, we start off the show with donations, where we thank everyone that donates to us via Patreon or PayPal. We thank everyone so much for the help, especially with TFCon coming up. It really helps us provide the coverage that we've been able to do of these conventions. And if you don't want, if you want to support us by Patreon or PayPal, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that has all the links to both. And we appreciate the support there. But if you don't want to do a recurring payment and just want to, throw something our way one time, get some merch out of it and go to our TeePublic store. Go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop. You can find a number of awesome designs that can be on shirts, on mugs, I think they even have like spiral bound notebooks, and you can get like a phone case. And we've got a couple new designs coming up this week. They should be up by the time this podcast goes up. So I will be interested to see their reaction. I personally think they're great. One of them is a kind of a sibling design to our Tape Man shirt that we put out last year. And
I wouldn't necessarily call it sibling.
Sibling rivalry. I don't know.
That's closer.
Bastard cousin. I don't know. But it's a great design that our editor, Mike, put together for us. And
I believe we should probably call him something else now. He's more than an editor.
Yeah, like the fifth Beatle.
He's our producer.
Yeah, producer. There you go. Our producer, Mike. You've been upgraded.
Yep.
Pays the same. And also, we would like to let you know our friend K-Girl has a TeePublic store as well, and she did the logo art for our show. And you can go to teepublic.com/user/superstark and check out her store. And we also have a number of her designs linked on ours as well. So those are the ways you can support us. Also, we would like to give a big congratulations to a friend of the show. He's a Donatreon and all-around good guy, Jim Simonik, Jimmers, who has won the 2019 Local Hero Award from the American Society of Colon and Rectal Surgeons. So this is for his Electronic Saviors project, where he's given, this says, like over $70,000 in donations to various cancer-related charities through putting out these Electronic Saviors albums, and then, I guess relevant to us more, the Respect the Prime albums. So congratulations, Jimmers. That is awesome that you're recognized for such good work.
Good job, Jimmers. Now, does this make him a doctor? Did he get a doctorate for this?
I don't know. We have to ask Charles, but he's not here.
That's true. Because, I mean, he's already a knight. So did he be Sir Dr. Jimmers? Or would he
I don't know what goes first.
Sir, Dr. Sir Jimmers. Mr. Dr. Sir Jimmers.
If only there was a way to get him on one of our podcasts so we can ask him in person.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can do that. Maybe next week. All right. Well, I mean, that is all the business out of the way. I guess next we can go on to toy news.
All right. Well, this week we're dipping back into last week's news because there was a lot of stuff to talk about last week, so we saved a couple things. I've got a trio of Fans Toys news topics to talk about, and the first off one is Fans Toys number 41 Sheridan. This is the final color images of their Warpath, and it goes right along with their number 42 Hunk, which is their final color images of their Brawn. Now, these guys here are pictured together in a couple of the images, but also have a lot of really nice standalone images as well to show off the figures just on their own. I myself really love the Warpath one just because it's, I don't know, something about Warpath has always been a really cool character to me. Obviously, he had some of the greatest lines in the show with the whack, blam, but just the toy itself, the original G1 Minibot, just never really did it for me. He was supposed to be a tank, but he was so tiny.
Yeah.
Now this one here just looks badass, and he's got some like steel looking treads, which I'm assuming they're plastic. They could very well be steel, though. I mean,
they're very shiny.
Yeah, Fans Toys has been known to put die-cast in their designs, so these may actually be steel or die-cast, just painted or done in steel. But yeah, it looks really great. It's painted very well, nice and shiny. Yeah, I really like the design of this Warpath. Now, before we go on to comments, I just want to touch on Brawn here, Hunk, they're calling him. His design is also really G1 orientated, and they have gone for, I would say, a cartoon look. A lot of their models now are definitely going more closely to the animation model.
And following Takara.
Oh yeah, you have to, right? So they don't really have a lot of design features in the plastic, but the colors match really well. They have an add-on piece for the front of the vehicle mode that turns that gives them the drill from that one episode. Not a lot of things to really say about the Jeep mode. It's a Jeep mode. It looks great. I want to think that the tires are rubber. They look rubber. I've been fooled before. But together, these two mini-bots, their Sheridan, the Warpath, and their Hunk, their Brawn, they just look great together. There does not appear to be a picture of them scaled with a official Takara Masterpiece mini-bot, like a Bumblebee, but I have to imagine that they're pretty similar in size.
There is the image of Brawn holding up what I'm assuming is MP10.
I would think so, yes.
Where he goes all Super Saiyan.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could kind of gauge based on how big MP10 is, how big he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But all in all, I think these two look great. And before we talk about the last one, Jeremy, what do you think of these two new molds here from Fans Toys?
I really like them. And I mean, unlike you, I was a fan of Warpath, the Minibot. Okay. Although the size always, was an issue, but it's a nice, fiddly transformer that, I don't know, he was one of those that I always went to when I was getting my toys out. I am wondering about the treads, because if you look at the front-on picture of him in robot mode, you can see they're two different colors.
Yes.
I'm wondering if the interior one is plastic and the outside one is metal, or maybe it just hasn't been painted, but the interior one kind of looks like the same color as the silver plastic on the back of the tank mode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on there, but it would, be more economic to have only half of the treads be metal.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But, I do hope that they're metal. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. They just, it kind of adds a little bit extra to it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I know it would add a lot to the cost, but it looks so good. But although the shiny paint, if that's what it is, it also looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. Brawn is one where, I mean, his G1 figure sucks.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
It's really bad. So I'm glad he's getting some good treatment here. It looks great, except for the vehicle mode, where if you look at the front end of the Jeep, there's a face there that I can't unsee anymore.
Yeah. Complete with pupils.
Yes, and that is really a turnoff for me. Because I'm like, I don't ever want to display it where that's visible, because it just bugs me. That's a very creepy looking face.
Yeah.
But the robot mode is fine.
If you think of Brawn from the Cars universe, then it completely makes sense.
Well, yeah, there you go. But the robot mode is fine. I'm assuming he comes with those flames from that where he's holding up Optimus.
I doubt it.
Oh.
Yeah, that would just be an effect for the picture, because he doesn't come with MP10.
Well, yeah, but I think these look great together. I don't know. They're both very nice looking versions of these classic mini-bots.
And the last one that I wanted to discuss is another Aerialbot that they're bringing out. This is Fans Toys number 30C Goose, and this is their version of G1 Skydive. And yeah, it's just another one of the Aerialbots for the Superion that they're doing. And I gotta say, it looks fine. It looks fantastic. There's nothing really overly special about it. It does the job of recreating the G1 Skydive mold. I think it's a MiG. I think this is that's what the plane is that they're trying to pull off here. I'm looking through the story here just to see, but it looks like a MiG. It looks good. It looks exactly like the G1 plane mode did. And then you go to the robot mode, and the robot mode looks like it's right out of the cartoon. So kudos to Fans Toys for pulling off a really great looking design here. Now, with regards to like scaling, he's just a little bit shorter than the Silverbolt they've done. So looks like he comes up just under the shoulder. So there is a little bit of height difference, but you'd expect that because Silverbolt's the torso. So yeah. I've never really gone into any of these third-party combiners for Superion. He's one of the first, if not the first, Autobot combiner. And he just, I don't know, there's something about him that I've kind of avoided. But he looks cool. If he's done right, he looks really cool. The G1 version is not the greatest, because he is spindly as all hell, but these new third-party versions of Superion really are taking it to the next level and making it look great. Jeremy, your thoughts on Goose here?
I think, well, one, the name is great.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're in the chat here that he's an F-16.
Oh, okay.
Not a MiG.
All
Which
right.
would make sense. In the 80s, I wouldn't expect Hasbro to be doing a Soviet plane in their combiner.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Goose right out of Top Gun. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have a Maverick or
Maverick is Silverbolt.
Oh, it is? Okay. Then there you go. So
yeah.
Makes sense that they do the Wingman next. And I'm guessing you're going to get Iceman and
who are
some
others?
of the other...
Yeah.
Just go through the characters in Top Gun.
Yeah, there was the wizard. They had Merlin was another one.
Oh yeah, Merlin. So yeah. So that's
Iceman, and who is his navigator guy?
I can't remember.
Shit.
I watched the movie a few months ago, but
yeah, because Tim Robbins is in that movie. And he's one of the pilots too. So yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
Oh, Jester.
Jester, right.
And Viper. So
yeah.
We're going to see all these names used.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love these. These are great names. Fantastic.
What I'd like to see is them come out with an Alpha Bravo, because we're going to have more names than characters.
Mm-hmm.
So just have them go ahead and do the Alpha Bravo.
Just do him, sure. And he fits. He goes on. You could have him break, spread out like from the middle and spread out and be like a backpack kind of thing.
Yeah,
go
or
on
just
the back.
have him be a limb. I mean, they can be interchanged, right?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome. But I think the plane mode looks fantastic, although it does have, you have the kibble on the bottom, which you can't get away from with these figures, because the planes are so sleek. But the F-16 has that...
the air intake.
Yeah, the air intake thing. So they try to kind of compensate and hide it, but the kibble's bigger than the air intake. Mm-hmm. But, I give them points for trying.
Yeah. They really don't show it from the bottom, do they? They just kind of...
No.
It's always top down.
But, I mean, you do see the picture with him with the landing gear, which is a nice touch that you have the landing gear. But, yeah, he it looks like he's got a very big belly.
Mm-hmm.
With the robot mode, I think is great too. He looks very poseable. He's sitting with one leg over the other.
Oh yeah, that's not easy to do.
Yeah, so that's really impressive. He's got a nice action pose, with like holding two guns.
Mm-hmm. And it does appear as though he's got interchangeable faces from that pose to the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
So he's got a screaming face and he's got a stoic face. At least two, anyway.
So I really like this guy. I think they did a good job. The color scheme is great on this. The black and silver with just like hints of red. I really like it.
Well, that was my take for this week. What do you got, Jeremy?
Well, let's start off at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
I have some socks that someone has found at Walmart, and I'm assuming this will be everywhere. These were found in Fort Wayne, Indiana. These are just G1 casual cruise socks. It's a 5-pack. You get an Optimus, a Megatron, a Bumblebee, and then Decepticon logo and Autobot logo.
Who are these for? Can adults wear them?
I would think so. I mean, I have some Voltron socks that I got, years ago. Therefore, when you want to have fun, but you have to be at a business meeting or something.
Are your Voltron socks just two colors, blue and yellow?
No, that would be funny though. But I saw it and I'm like, well, we got to put it in there before it gets old news, and just something fun.
So you can buy them all as one pack then?
Yeah, it's a 5-pack.
Okay, cool.
Next thing I have is a rumor about what accessories Hound is going to come with, the Masterpiece Hound.
Oh, that thing's still coming out, eh?
This says pre-order is June 7th.
Wow. That's like now.
Yeah. We saw him first at Wonderfest. This rumor comes from TFW 2005 member T. Temploy, who has shared some accurate information before. So, take it with a grain of salt, but he says June 7th pre-order, release December, retail price 18,000 yen, which is roughly $165.
Well, I'm still stuck on the name. Did you say T-Temploy?
That's what it says.
I think it's TT Employ, as in employee. Takara Tomy, employee.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading it.
I didn't get that.
T-Temploy.
Trying to give them a little anonymity. This is what happens when I read the story and then want to do the credit and midway through.
Right. Okay. Continue. Sorry, I had to stop you because that was funny.
An anonymous Takara Tomy employee. That's a 2005 member.
Yeah.
So June 7th pre-order, release in December. Price roughly $165 US. And
that's a lot.
It is. In the box, they say you get a hound, obviously.
I should hope so.
A laser scope from that one episode.
Yep.
Jerry cans, which I believe is like the gas cans that go on the back of like World War II era Jeeps.
I would think so, yep.
Spare tire set.
Okay, then.
A spike figure.
Ooh.
A hologram figure and a hologram effect. And a hologram gun.
Is that an entirely other hologram version of Hound? Like
I have no idea.
You get two Hounds and one's clear?
I don't know. I would hope it'd be like just like that transparent cage, like box that goes over them.
Yeah.
So hood parts.
Sure thing. Yep.
A key for a cage.
Okay.
Which, the one that had Ravage in.
Ravage, yep.
Replacement face that's a smile, and a replacement face that's a scream.
Okay.
And a side mirror, like apparently this is like a spare side mirror, and then a character card and a manual. So
that's a lot of stuff.
It is. I think depending on what the hologram figure and effect is, that would really make the price worth it or not. Mm-hmm. Like, say it is just a transparent, non-transformable hound in robot mode.
Yeah.
Do you think that would make it worth it for you?
I mean, I don't know. I have the other one already, so I'm not really looking right now. But if this is true and there's all this stuff, then that's an awful lot of stuff. Whether the hologram figure is of Hound, I mean, it could be a version of that ginormous Autobot that they created to scare the Decepticons that one episode, right?
Yeah.
So it could be anything. Yeah, I don't know. But I want to remind everybody that when we first started hearing about what was supposed to be included with MP44, Optimus Prime, one of the things was a basketball. Like, there was supposed to be a basketball in that set. We now know it doesn't come with that.
They forgot.
Yeah. And there was a whole bunch of other crazy crap that was supposed to come with them, too. So, this is a rumor. You said that. Yeah. And as of right now, all we know is what we see in the picture. You got a hound, you got a gun, you got a shoulder cannon thing, and that's all we can guarantee.
Yeah. I mean, in the picture from Wonderfest or WonderCon, whatever they call it, that's what we did see. We saw the figure and the shoulder cannon that has the shooting missile, and then just a handheld gun, which I'm guessing is the hologram gun. I can't remember.
They had a name for it. I don't know if it was a hologram gun because that's Hound's gun. So
right,
yeah,
or maybe the laser scope could attach to it. I'm not sure, but we just saw like him holding that pistol. Mm-hmm. But I'm really liking the figure itself. Mm-hmm. Hound is one of those that I liked. I tore my G1 Hound up, and I had a friend actually repair it with, he had a bunch, like you repair figures. He did it for me.
Okay.
And,
brought it back. You're no engineer, so.
Well, no, I'm not. And I also don't have bins of parts, and he had a bunch. So he made a nice, looking G1 Hound for me. But I would really like to get a Masterpiece Hound. And I don't know, 165 is a bit much, especially when I'm used to paying like $80 to $90 for, the cars.
Yeah.
So that hologram figure really needs to be something that, blows my socks off.
Yeah, when the price came down and we started hearing what it was, and 165 is a lot for a masterpiece figure. But what else can they make the Hound mold into? There's that one eHobby exclusive that was Detritus, I believe they called him.
Yeah.
Right? And he's a tan Jeep. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Pretty much. Right? Unless they can reuse some of the mold and do a swindle. Like
alternators. Yeah, they did that once. They've turned a Hound from the alternator's Hound into alternator's Swindle. They might be able to do that, but then if you're doing a Swindle, you better be part of a combiner.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Hound is one of those figures that this is it, Like, if you don't sell enough of them as Hound, you're not making your money back as a remold.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons it is probably higher priced.
That's my theory, yeah. They might be able to repaint them as, go the opposite direction, because obviously the paint job on him now is more animation accurate. They might be able to paint him to match more toy accurate paint jobs, so darken him up a bit, instead of the white thighs, make them silver, right, like the toy. Just do something like that and reissue them like that. That might be something, and I think they did it with Megatron, so I wouldn't be surprised if they needed to make a little bit more cash back with, these one-offs, because Megatron is, you're not making anything out of Megatron that's not Megatron, right? So, so these one-off kind of masterpieces need to make their money back, and 165 is a tough pill to swallow for this, but for people who are masterpiece collectors and people who are Hound collectors and who are missing that masterpiece scaled Hound, who didn't go in on any of the third-party options, this is going to be it. And I don't want to talk smack on any of the third-party options. I myself have Fans Toys Willis, and he's an awesome figure.
So what you talking about?
Yeah. he's a great figure. And, I've seen a lot of people since the time that this story's come out saying, okay, well, now all the Fans Toys Willis owners and the Make Toys Gun Dogs and the TFC, whatever the hell he was called from them, are all going to go up on, Facebook and whatnot is, in the forums of people selling them. I've yet to see one myself go up, but, they'll come. So, but yeah, these the ones that are out there right now. They're not terrible.
Yeah, and I think the price is going to give third party a little bit of help.
Sure, it will.
Because this is one where the official one is not going to be undercutting the third party ones by much.
Yeah,
if at all.
I'm trying to remember what I paid for my Fans Toys Willis, because I did get it off of, I pre-ordered it, and I don't think it was $100. I think it was under that. Might have been 90. So, yeah.
Well, we'll have, more news as it comes, but be looking for this in December.
Mm-hmm.
So, next thing I have here is we have a listing from Amazon UK for the War for Cybertron Siege Firestorm pack. This has in it Slam Dance, which is a repaint of Skytread. It has G2 Sideswipe, which is obviously a black repaint of Sideswipe, without the Derek Yaniger face, unfortunately. And then we have the extra, or the new images here that we haven't seen before, are the red and gray redeco of the Battlemaster Caliburst. So this story suspects that the name for that repaint is Pinpointer, but we don't have a name on it. Slam Dance is obviously, the in G1 it was the tapes, the tank and the plane that came together to form the one robot. It was Grand Slam and Rain Dance.
You got it.
See, I know toys.
You got it.
No, this is one I had as a kid and I loved it.
Do you remember what my problem is with this though?
The colors are swapped.
That's right. No, well, they're swapped. They're not swapped. The colors, the tank is red and the plane is blue. But
but their position in the figure is swapped.
That's right. Yes.
I pay attention sometimes to our own show. Yeah. So, but this looks really cool. I really wish that they would have done the Yanniger face on Sideswipe. It seems like that would be an easy thing for them to do, where doesn't affect the transformation. They normally do alternate heads when they do these molds anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the black and red really work well together. I think I like this color scheme on the figure better than the original.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I was a fan of Knight Rider. But
everyone likes a black Lamborghini, man.
I know. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think the real pull with Slam Dance is the robot mode, which if you can get past the backwardness of it, I think it's a great looking figure.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on this pack?
Well, I mean, it's a nice pack to get. I may have mentioned this last time we talked about it, but I would have just called Slam Dance Dance Slam, just to kind of point the name. Slam Dance is still a dumb name. I mean, yeah. You're taking it from both figures, and I get that, but now that they're backwards, just call it Dance Slam. The G2 Sideswipe looks fantastic. I mean, the one thing that I find it does kind of point out or bring to light is the fact that the windshield is now red. It makes the structural background of the windshield visible. So you can now see all like the bones behind the windshield for structural stability there. You can see it prevalent, right there. It's right in your face. And that's kind of sucky, but in robot mode, you're not going to see that.
I would bet Toy Hacks is going to come out with a repro label set that,
oh, for sure,
fixes it for you.
Yeah, it'll be like tune accurate or it'll have bullet
comic
holes
accurate.
in it. Yeah, all kinds of bullet holes. It'd be great. And the sticker for the front will have a bandolier across the chest. It'll just look great.
I am seeing that the story didn't mention a price, but I went to Amazon UK and they're listing it at £65.
That's a spicy meatball. Yeah,
I mean, you're getting, a deluxe I guess Slam Dance, are those like Legends class or?
Well, it becomes a deluxe, right? So.
Right. Well, yes. Okay, so I guess it was sold as a 2-pack, and then a Legends with the Battlemaster.
Yeah. So £65 to US dollar is $82.30.
Wow.
That's expensive. All right, I'm out now.
Yeah. I mean, for that price, I really would have expected the Yanniger head.
Yeah.
And
nothing's new here. It's all just repaints. There's nothing actually new.
And Sideswipe still has that, battle damage stuff on his lower legs.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's in black, chest. Which, isn't as egregious as the gray or the silver, because you could think black, okay, like oil stains, whatever. Sure. It fits his color scheme, but still it's there, and I don't like it.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate that it's so expensive, because it's a nice set for a collector. Like, if you don't often see a G2 Sideswipe. We've gotten a Masterpiece version, and the original version, and this. So,
but was there one for the Robots in the Sky series where, Sideswipe was
like the 2015 series?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember one.
I mean, I would think that because they did it'd be easy enough to do a black repaint.
Sure, yeah. But no, it's a rare enough color scheme that doesn't happen very often. So, yeah, it's too bad that it's going to be this expensive. I still think they're good-looking figures. They're not $85 or $82 worth.
Right. Well, that is all the toys I have this week, so let's move on to some rapid fire.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody gets the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
All right, in rapid fire toys this week, we got a bunch of stuff to go through. First up, we've got DNA Designs, their DK-11 upgrade kit for Studio Series SS-32 Optimus Prime and SS-35 Jetfire. This is a kit that will come with a whole bunch of parts to fix the combination of Jetfire to what were we calling it? The Super Corpse mode, I think it was. So when Jetfire's, you take Jetfire apart and kind of add them onto the Optimus Prime. This is the thing that I did buy the Super Studio Series figures for. It looks okay. This kind of makes it look a little cooler. I might look into see how much this is, because I don't mind if I'm going to spend the money on getting 2 whole figures. It's $100 worth of figure. I don't mind spending a couple extra dollars just to make it look that much more awesome. So
I don't know. It looks just like a big mess to me.
It's a lot of stuff, yeah. And I think if it's going to keep making it bigger, I think I can go for it. But yeah, it is a bit messy. So it adds a whole bunch of stuff. So you can have Jetfire done in full, and then you can have a whole bunch of other crazy stuff added onto the back of Optimus Prime there, just to kind of just make it even more crazy. Next up, we've got DNA Designs DK12, 1-2, that's 12. Upgrade kit for Masterpiece Movie MPM-6 Ironhide. So I think this is their second upgrade kit for Ironhide, because they had one before that did a couple other things. This is a kit that will give you more guns and knives and a little piece that goes around the front to kind of make them a little bit more thicker, I guess, in the front. So yeah, take a look at that. If you are a big fan of that movie Ironhide, the Masterpiece movie Ironhide, and you think it just needs a little bit more, it also comes with a peeing dog.
Mojo.
Yes, Mojo, that is going to pee on Ironhide's foot. If that's something that you've always wanted, here you go. It does include the pee effect. Amazing. It's the world we live in now. All right. Moving on. Shockwave Lab. If you remember, we did a whole whack of these things a while ago, and here are some more. Shockwave Lab is becoming the company for upgrade kits, and that's cool. I don't mind upgrade kits, and I don't think Hasbro does either. So we've got their SL-51 kit for Siege Voyager Soundwave. This is a fairly small kit, and it is going to add a couple pieces to the underside of the arms, filling in the gaps left in the robot mode, and a couple pieces for the back of the fan mode when you turn it into a cassette player. So you can kind of make it a cassette player with this these other couple pieces. So it kind of makes it a little bit more sturdy. Like I said, fairly small set. It's literally 4 pieces, very tiny. Can't expect it to be too much. So if that's something you wanted, take a look. We've got 2 more sets here. This is Shockwave Lab SL52 and SL53. These are both sets for the Takara Legends XLEX Diatlas figure. So the first set is giving it a little bit extra in the back of the legs to kind of fill in some gaps. It is a fairly gappy figure if you turn the legs around. Remember, it is the Overlord figure, so I'm assuming this is the exact same thing that they did for their Overlord add-on set. They just recolored it blue. And the SL53 set is the Z sword for Diatlas. It's a giant Z.
That's Z for you not speaking Canadian.
I'm sorry, but that's a Z.
Awesome,
next up, we've got Dr. Wu, who I remember being the first guys who did add-on sets. We've got Dr. Wu, and we've got fill-in parts for the Combiner Wars, Titan Returns, Power of the Primes, Insecticons, as well as Battle Trap, Siege Chromia, and Siege Ultra Magnus. So they have done a whole big bunch of stuff here to add on parts, give you some filler parts, and some little missiles. The Insecticons, they get their own weapons. These are the weapons that they had for G1, so they've made little tiny versions of those weapons and made them fit into their Legends scale hands. It's pretty awesome. So if you want those, you can get those. For Chromia's got 2 swords, 2 guns. I don't remember her wielding swords, but hey, whatever. Maybe she, wants to try out being a sword wielder. Who cares? Let her do what she wants to do. We've got Battle Trap. Battle Trap gets his crazy gun that his G1 counterpart had. He's got another little smaller gun that he can hold in the other hand as well. So remember, Battle Trap's 2 figures. Each one gets a gun. They combine that gun into a larger gun. We've got Siege Hound getting a missile for his launcher. It's the one that it came with didn't really have a missile. It just kind of looked like a launcher. This one puts a missile in there, so you have something to, protrude out. And for Siege Ultra Magnus, there's a bunch of stuff. This is a bigger set. This is all filler pieces, just white pieces of plastic that'll go in the holes made with the Siege Ultra Magnus. If you recall, Siege Ultra Magnus is filled with gappy little sections, so you can fill a lot of those in with these little pieces of white plastic. So there you go.
So that doesn't impact the transformation, does it?
Doesn't look like it, no. Next up, did you ever miss out on Takara Tommy's Masterpiece MP13 Soundwave?
I did.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that it's being reissued this coming year. So
that's great.
It's coming. Its expected release date is November 2019, and it's only going to cost about $110. That's not bad. One thing that is different is the Soundwave version of the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Soundwave was issued with a yellow visor and laser beak. You had to get the other tapes, and if you wanted the red visor, you actually had to buy the Sound Blaster version, or yes, it was Sound Blaster, to get the red version. I think that's how it worked. Either way, there was a really weird thing that you had to do. And in fact, I made a video on my YouTube channel to show people how you could simply just open his head up, paint his eyes, and you're fine. It's not a big deal. But people were going to great lengths to get an actual red visored Soundwave. So this one here, this new one that they're reissuing for $110, is coming with Laserbeak again and a red visor. So you don't have to go crazy trying to find a red visored one. This will have it, but just one tape. And it honestly, to me, it's one of the best Masterpiece figures that they've ever done. So
I think this is going to be my Christmas present.
That's a good idea. I would highly recommend that.
And it is on Robot Kingdom right now.
Wow.
Pre-order.
There you go. Next up, we've got a Takara Tomy commercial. It was on their YouTube channel, and it is all in Japanese, just so you know. This is a retelling of the Three Little Pigs story using Studio Series figures. So they have Studio Series Bumblebee. I don't know which number. I'm sorry, there's been like 7, so go easy on me. Anyways, Bumblebee is building a house out of straw. You have Studio Series Ratchet building a house out of wood, and Optimus Prime. I think this is the first one, Studio Series number 5. I think that's which one they're using. This is him. He's building a house out of bricks. And you can watch it. You don't need to have subtitles, or you don't need it translated. It's the Three Little Pigs story. You know it. And just follow along, and it's cute. Next up, and lastly, actually, this is the last one we got. Thankfully, this has been forever. Not rapid at all. Transformers Collaborative series with the Transformers and Ghostbusters crossover, Ectotron, has been released in Canada. Woo! It has been found in EB Games all over Canada, and it's retailing for $59.99 Canadian. So take a look for my fellow Canadians out there. If you are looking for Ectotron, get out and find it.
Hearing good things about them.
It will be a GameStop exclusive in the U.S. when you can find it. All those Americans out there, sorry about your luck. It'll be there soon. Don't worry. That's it for Rapid Fire.
Woo!
I know. You're telling me, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to some trips to the store. And this is the part of the show where we talk about the stuff we got this week. And we simulcast it on YouTube as its own video, so you can check it out there and then come back to the podcast. So now, trips to the store. Daryl, what do you got this week?
All right. So I do have a couple things this week. Number one is a comic book. This is Transformers number 6. I bought it because I have been buying these, and it's like habit. I wish I could quit. I can't, but I wish I could. This is the cover by...
Which one?
This is cover A.
Cover A is Jack Lawrence and Josh Burcham.
There you go. I also bought this week. This is not Transformers, but it's just you and me, so who cares? I bought a Dino Zord. Dragon Zord. Dragon Zord. That's the green Dragon Zord. You like these guys, right?
No.
Voltron kind of things.
Voltron ripoff. Even though they came first.
I just remember these things. This particular one being something kind of cool about it. So I saw it in the store and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it. So I bought a Dragon Zord. Yay!
I did notice in Target today when I was looking like at the pitiful Transformers display, they had a bunch of Hasbro Power Rangers up there now.
Got to fill the shelf somehow.
Yep.
I did pick up this. This is a figure that I do have, but sealed. So I found an open one, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. This is Cybertronian Megatron from War 4 Cybertron.
Nice.
And this is a fun figure. A really cool tank mode. I do have the instructions as well. Yeah, he's got his missile. He's fully complete. So I thought, you know what? It's a good way to get this guy because I don't have him before out yet, and fun figure to mess around with. So pick that up.
I have the black Takara version of that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good figure.
They are. They're. It's a neat one. Lastly, I went to my local EB Games this Friday because I got a phone call that I pre-order that I made was in, and I got Ectotron. Look at that pretty thing. Yes, that nice box art on the back.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's fantastic right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got the Slimer in there. I don't know whether it's going to come through on the camera, but yeah, there he is. Slimer's in there. I have no interest in opening this right now. It's just one of those things that just looks too beautiful in its box. So yeah, it's going to sit here. His function, I'm going to read it to you because it's really cool. It says, function, paranormal investigator. When life splatters you with marshmallow goo, just go with it. When the Ghostbusters need a ride to the next paranormal hotspot, it's nice to have one who can also handle a proton pack. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's seriously lacking some robot points, but
yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty good. They did a really good job. It's got the transformation up at the top. Yeah, I like it. Good job, Hasbro. And I can't wait to see what you do next. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been hearing good things about people that have opened it up. Yeah.
One more thing is I did mention that I wanted to mention I was at Forest City Comic Con this past Saturday, and I was a panelist. I was also there as press. They weren't going to give me 2 badges, so they gave me the panelist badge. But I had a really great time. I met Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson, and yeah, it was a really fun time. Yeah, it was a nice one-day convention. And, yeah, if you're in the London area and you haven't checked it out, check it out.
Cool.
How about you, Jeremy? What have you done?
Well, I'll start off. If you notice here, I've had this little black box for a few weeks on my microphone. Never said anything about it. The stickers I ordered for it finally came in. It's a little mic flag that has the Transmissions Podcast Network on it, and I got 2 of them. So you might see these at TFCon. Anything to make you guys feel a little bit more uncomfortable when you're interviewing people.
Oh, no. I love that.
Yeah, so this is awesome. It's just a little box with foam in it that the microphone sticks in.
Cool.
But, you know, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and it wasn't that expensive, so I figured, why not? Convention season's coming up, and we'll get some use out of them. The other thing I have is just I thought I hadn't been to the comic store in 2 weeks. Apparently it's been like 3 weeks or so. Because I have Transformers numbers 5 and 6. So I believe this is the Sarah Pietra-Durocher cover of 5. They're both cover A, and then I have the same cover as you for 6.
Nice.
That is everything I got this week. We are back from the trips to the store, and let's move on to some feedback.
Right on. Okay, and feedback this week. Got a couple of questions from one of our longtime listeners, Dinobot Maximize, who goes on to say, question going off of Sledge's question last week about how we display our collections. In last week's feedback, I know I have asked this before, and I know others would love this idea, but will we get to see your collections in either video or picture form? Why not make a special channel in Discord where you can show others images of your collections? Well, as they mentioned, John Dinobot, Charles is embarrassed by his, Yoshi doesn't want to be on the show anymore, and Jeremy is, he just doesn't think it's worthy of taking pictures of. And you can see mine every single time I put the camera on. I can't hide it anymore. It's too big. Did you want to add anything to that, Jeremy?
Oh, I would love to be able to take pictures of my collection, but I need to finish a huge project that I have yet to start on cleaning my office so I can properly display figures. So right now I'd be taking pictures of plastic boxes with toys in them, and I don't think that's really what he's looking for.
That's okay. That works.
So, I do think having a channel in Discord where people can post images, that might be something we could do.
Mm-hmm. He asks one more question where he says, we haven't heard any special guests in a while, especially a certain Jean-Paul Beauvais. Any chance we can hear from him again soon? What about last week? We had a guy making a documentary about action figures. Is he not special enough? But yeah, Jean-Paul we haven't had on in a while. He is busy. Also, he's in England. So it's quite difficult to get Jean-Paul back on the show. But if we ever have the opportunity to, we will. Because Jean-Paul's great, and we love him. Thanks again for your feedback.
Well, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are scheduled to have Jimmers on the show next week. Yeah. To talk some Respect the Prime stuff, and crossing our fingers nothing happens to prevent that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or sorry, Dr. Sir Jimmers.
Dr. Sir Jimmers, yep. So yeah, thanks for your feedback, Dinobot, and yeah, that's all the feedback we have, Jeremy.
All right, great. Well, that is the show for this week. So once again, thanks everyone for listening. You can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. We appreciate it. Also, as I mentioned, we have new shirts. Go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and by the time this show is up, we'll have new shirts up on the show. And if you are one of our Donatreon supporters, you might have had an early chance to buy the shirts. So pay attention to your Patreon notifications.
The early chance is a discount. not just we want your money first.
Yeah.
You can buy them with a discount. That's the idea. We're not trying to just get you to buy more shit. We just want to give you an opportunity.
We are trying to get people to buy stuff, but we don't want you to have to pay as much.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, convention season's coming up. Get some awesome shirts, and
we want you advertising for us.
Exactly. So that is it for the show this week, and thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Nope.
We are the worst two of the team.
Everyone comes for Charles and Yoshi. No one comes for us. Oh, here they come. You just have to beg.
Oh, yes, there they are.
All right, so...
K-Girl just joined the channel. She's not really listening. She took her earbuds off and put them down.
Yeah.
She's not really here.
It's fine. We can think we have an audience.
We need to see the name, that's all. It doesn't matter.
I mean, we know DJ Run's just a bot anyway. But you don't get the pleasure of having Charles yell at us this week.